Hey, good evening, everybody. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. It's Saturday, April 12th, 2025. And we're getting together for a show that's going to be nice and short and sweet and really leaning heavily on you guys and gals out there in the audience. Joining me across the room is my co-host for the night. That's Anthony Vincent, my brother. Ant, what's up?
How's it going?
Well, you know, going pretty good. This is episode 1 of The Brothers.
The Brothers.
Okay, that's what this is called. This is not Quite Frankly.
The Brothers.
It's episode 1 of The Brothers. It's not The Brothers podcast. It's nothing. It's just The Brothers. And I thought it was so
it's funny because you asked, you said, so what do we call a show that is just us since no one else is going to be here? And I responded with The Brothers, but you had already thought about it.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious why?
Because
I haven't. Because I just feel like it's just like a funny
how
thing.
How we're referred to by Mikey T.
Exactly.
With the prank phone calls.
But for me, it's more than just Mikey T. It's just our whole lives. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we've always been referred to as the Brothers.
Are the Brothers coming? Anyway, this is The Brothers episode 1, and there's a lot that could be done with this show, a whole lot that could be done, so we're feeling it out. And tonight we're going to be taking a trip down into the depths of crazy with you guys and gals at home. We're just going to open up the Crazy Story Hotline that we tested out about a week ago on the show with a lot of great success, and I thought this would be funny and fun for a Saturday night. And I got a brand new spanking new hotline over here, 1-888-554-5069. And we're going to be taking your calls and all that stuff. But before we do that, and I, just for the hell of it, I went on Twitter and I started talking to Grok. And I said, listen,
Grok?
Grok is it's the Chat GPT over there.
Oh.
So I asked Grok, I said, can you please generate me a podcast logo for a show titled The Brothers. And this is what they did. Hold on. Wait. I don't want to screw this up.
Oh God, this is gonna be
hilarious. Hold on, wait a second.
What?
Wait, watch. Ready? I said, generate me because I wanted to have something to overlay over something tonight. And I wanted to see if they can come up with something. Here's The Brothers. That's it. I didn't give them anything. They just gave me two guys.
It's like Step Brothers vibes or something.
Kind of. And I didn't give them pictures. I didn't tell them who we were or anything. I said, just make me a podcast for something called The Brothers. So I'm thinking about, in the future, using these two random AI strangers and having you and I show up when the show starts out. And I think that's fun. There you go. There's The Brothers. It's
hilarious.
It's crazy, funny, ridiculous. And there's something else that popped up along the way here too. I thought I would say, you want to go a walk down memory lane before we start bringing on some calls.
Yeah.
Here is the Lego Man ponytail incident between you and I. One of many fights that happened on air. This one goes back, I think, to 2007. So this is almost a 20-year-old fight. And
well, this is funny because the reason this fight happened was because we wanted to make the shows more professional.
Yeah.
And we had said that we're going to do like these 15-minute segments where we'd go into a break and we'd play a commercial that we made. I don't know. They were just commercials that we made ourselves. Like there was nothing important to be said, but we just wanted to make it seem more professional. So I was enforcing that, and you were in the middle of a point, and then we kind of just
enforcing that. It's true. Anthony was trying to stick to the show notes, but I guess I don't even know what the context was because we clipped this so long ago. Like I said, this is about 20 years old now. Here it is.
And I did have a Lego Man ponytail.
It was a very tightly pulled back ponytail.
I used to gel my hair back, and then I would gel the ponytail so that it would get stiff.
I remember that. Yeah. If you ever got hit in the head with Anthony's ponytail, you might get lacerated at that point. Let's go to break.
We'll be right back after this.
We're in the middle of a fucking conversation.
What? You just? I thought we were just. It takes 2 seconds to go to break.
Okay, let's go to break. Here's a message from our sponsors.
Okay, we want to know something. I guess when we decide to organize things a little bit more, fuck it. Let's fucking take out all the breaks.
But we were in the middle of a conversation.
No fucking point. Well, you know what? Cut the goddamn conversation short for 2 seconds. Cut the conversation in half.
Why?
Until we return.
Why? We have a message from our sponsors, random YouTube videos.
Christ.
A message from our paid sponsors, random YouTube videos that Mike found.
I don't even know what the fuck he was saying.
Of course he wasn't.
Because I'm paying attention to the 30-minute fucking cuts that we got to make.
Right. Because that's what we organized
and told ourselves we were going to make.
That's what a good co-host does. He pays attention to the conversation. Right. All right. Let's go to break.
Yeah,
King, we'll talk to you. Oh, you smart motherfucker. I'll come in there and rip your fucking Lego man ponytail off.
Fine. Now we're gonna be tough guys.
Oh, Anthony, shut up. Shut up. Just shut up.
That I was in New York.
And Mike, of course, just trying to get through it.
What's unbelievable just listening back is that, you know, it was just like I know we weren't putting on a stream for anybody. There was barely anybody there.
Yeah.
But just to think like just how fast we didn't even care that it was a show anymore. We just went right into a fight.
I know. And that happened quite a bit. There was walkouts. I've walked out of shows. I don't know. Everybody has walked out before. Oh, there was a lot. And that's the best part. It's like this all happened when there was nothing on the line.
Right.
And thankfully we got it all out of our system. But yeah, it was very compelling radio back then. Anyway, that's where we are now 18 years later. This is it. Okay, ladies and gents. So here is what we have going on tonight. You're calling in. It's 1-888, not 914. This is the toll free. 888-554-5069. You call us up and you give us in a nice little nutshell. Try to keep it under 2 minutes. It's just a crazy ass story. That's it. Something that the last time we did this, we had somebody call in, talk about a day that they waked and baked and went to work at Blockbuster and found a dead body on the side of the building. We had a whole bunch of stuff coming in. And tonight, I'm going to be taking notes of your first name and just a keyword or two of what the story was about. And then we're going to have a very crude chat room voting, spam vote at the end, because we are going to be able to give the craziest story a bundle kit over here from Keto Brainz. Here it is. You're getting a bag of Keto Brainz. You're getting the Myron glass countertop jar, and you're also getting the long stem scooper there, which is really great because then you don't get all the powder on your knuckles when you go in there to scoop it all out. This is nearly $100 worth of stuff, and all you got to do is call in and put your crazy story to the test. And perhaps it's all true, and perhaps people will call bullshit. But at least we'll have fun, and we're only on for an hour. So that's what we're going to be doing. You call us up, and we get that one started. Here's a crazy story that was in the news recently. Listen to this, Ant. Los Angeles Fire Department and LA County firefighter, LAFD and LA County firefighters, isn't that the same thing? Brawled, yeah, I guess so, at the scene of a fire. And here's what we know. It started what seemed like a fairly routine incident. LA County fire engine from Station 173 saw smoke on Monday and headed to its direction. The engine was the first on the scene of a car fire that threatened an apartment building within LA city limits, according to County Fire Dispatch radio recordings. The county firefighters requested a full city response over the radio since the fire was in LA Fire Department territory. Well, anyway, a few minutes later, city firefighters reported again over the radio, "We have an issue out here," one of them said. "We do have one member from county and one member from our department in a physical altercation right now." Can you imagine there being a car fire threatening apartment buildings and these two firefighters are fist fighting? I wish I could have been there.
For what? I that's what I want to know. Is like what there hasn't been like a building tension,
a legacy of tension. They say a rivalry between LA County and LA City has always been there, but why this would happen, I don't know. I just don't know. They don't really get into it. So I guess it's just going to be bad blood for a while, and then they're investigating the incident. That's what we have there. Okay, first one up is what I'm going to do is this coming in, ladies and gentlemen, from a new feature that we're going to be using from here on out. And it is a voicemail box that we set up, a free voicemail box we set up on SpeakPipe. And I put it in the description of the episode and all that. And we already collected a few. This is what Frank Zell and others chimed in on with the tariff stuff on Wednesday night. Here's one from Carly. We actually got two from her. So let's play one.
One more crazy story, Frank. I was 19 and we were tripping on acid at this old farmhouse at a farmhouse party. And the owner, the guy who was running the house, maybe I was 17, I don't know, but we were definitely tripping on acid. He comes in with a double gauge shotgun and blows a huge hole in the floor, probably about 3 feet from the kitchen table where we were all sitting. So I got up and we were tripping on acid at this old farmhouse up to the bathroom, which was on the second floor. And I wanted to jump out the window because that seemed like a really good idea based on, the hallucinogenics and my very wise 17-year-old mind. Anyway, some of the guy's friends dragged him outside, him and his shotgun, and we were all able to get out of the house and into the car and drive away into the night. It was one of 3 times I was almost shot.
There you go. So Carly's been shot. Has almost been shot 3 separate times, and this time she was running away from a crazed farmer with a shotgun while she was high, tripping on acid. So what do you know about that? 914-200-02... keep saying it. 888-554-5069. That's the hotline. Give us a call. Johnny Appleseed, go ahead. What's your crazy story?
All right. So it's 1987, 1988. It's the summertime. We're up at the neighbor's house having Domino's pizza. And me and the neighbor kid, who was my friend back then, Josh, we got done with dinner. We walked outside. And across the street in the yard, across the street from his house, standing in the yard, it was nighttime. It's probably about 9 o'clock at night. There was a silhouette, full-grown human being, silhouette of, remember old TV snow? Like back in the day on the old TVs where it looks like snow when nothing's coming in?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there's an absolute bright silhouette of a human being standing in the neighbor's yard right across the street, motioning to us to come to it. And it freaked us out. So we ran back. This was on the corner. We ran back about 30 or 40 feet back to get the adults because this was some weird stuff going on. Bright silhouette of a human. And so the adults came out and we went back to the corner and we said, "Look," and it was gone. Right now, this is a right in my neighborhood. I grew up there. This is the house I grew up in. The next day, in the window, directly where that silhouette was standing in the yard outside of the house, in front of that same window, there had been placed a life-size cardboard cutout of Jesus that was not there prior.
Okay, now life-size cardboard cutout, you can say, well, all right, there's definitely human hands involved with this. It's cardboard. It had to be crafted. But what you're saying the night before is that what you were seeing was taking shape, but it was almost comprised of what looked like television snow on an old rabbit ear television.
Yes.
So it was not of this world, whatever you were seeing.
I do not believe it was. And I know that it was outside of the house, in the front yard, outside of the window. And the next day, inside that window, was a cardboard cutout of Jesus that had never been there my entire life up until that next day.
Wow. And now I have to ask, because things like this are really trippy. Were you guys totally sober or were you partying?
No, I was 8 years old, man.
Oh God. Okay. Well, maybe you lived maybe you went hard life. I don't know. Okay. Well, that's huge.
Pizza.
No, I understand why that stuck with you for your whole life. Then you've essentially got a television snow figure outside in the middle of your yard, and the next day there is a life-size religious relic there.
on the inside of the window in the same location.
Okay. An icon right there.
Yeah, and check it out. So I said, that's good energy. And my friend Josh dismissed it. And Josh is doing life in prison in Florida for murder now.
Okay. Appleseed. Okay. So I'm going to put you down, Johnny. And if you win, you got to email me afterwards. Okay.
All right, dude.
All right. Johnny Appleseed. And I'm just going to call this Cardboard Jesus.
Cardboard Jigga. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Tanya. Go ahead, Tanya. Tanya?
Hi, how are you, Frank?
Doing well. Okay. You got a crazy story for us? Go ahead.
I got a really crazy story. So I moved out of my house growing up, and I moved in with my boyfriend. He was in the Navy. And when I got there, there was this crazy lady that would call us all the time, and she would send pizzas to the house. I don't really know how that all happened, but she would like do pranks on my ex-husband all the time. My husband at the time, or he wasn't even my husband, he was my boyfriend. Anyhow, one day he was working third shift and he was in the Navy, and he had come home and he had went to bed like he always did. And I was doing stuff around the house, and I got a knock at the door, and I opened the door, and there were two men in suits, and they said where they were from, but I didn't recognize. They said something and son something. And I said, okay. And they asked for him. And I said, well, he's in bed. And they looked at me really funny. And they said, well, we're here to pick up his remains.
What?
And I said, well, he was kind of not feeling good when he laid down, but I think he's okay.
Wait a second. Okay. So you have these guys. Are they, do you know about all of the more classic descriptions of the Men in Black?
No, it was not the Men in Black.
It
was
wasn't like
someone that this woman sent from a mortuary to pick up the remains of my boyfriend.
Jeez. So
it was like a prank.
Wow. But they did not think it was a prank. They thought they were collecting a body.
Absolutely.
Holy shit.
So I woke him up and I'm like, there's two guys here you need to talk to.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna put down here, Tanya, is Undertaker prank, which is very morbid and very original, I have to say.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I thought so. I was only like 19 at the time. It was very weird.
Yeah, I'd probably have a hard time sleeping that night, especially if I was your boyfriend. She did many other things. It's a long story. I'm not going to go into everything, but she did a lot of crazy things. So. Good God. Can you imagine that? Just knowing that two men showed up with the true, with intent to take your body away because they thought you were dead.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm writing that one down. That is definitely a crazy story.
Okay.
And you just gave somebody an idea there, Tanya, too. There's a lot of I wish people were doing morbid, weird, but mostly harmless shit like that than all of this swatting stuff. You know, someone can actually get killed there. Anyway, all right, let's take a call. This one should be good. Willie, go ahead, Willie.
Hey, crazy story at work. The kind of a day almost like today, cold, rainy, shitty with snow in the morning. We had to finish putting plywood up on the roof. Boss yelling and screaming at you, getting soaked to the bone, cold, slipping and sliding on ice, wind throwing shit up. Got done. That was it. Quit for the day early. Driving down the road to get out of the place, you know, it changed the rain, the snow. I kind of like went away. Come around the corner. It almost died, you know, falling off the roof. It was a really scary day. Bad argument with the boss, stuff like that. And so we're coming down around the corner, just me and my little pickup truck, old Toyota pickup. And I come around the corner and I slide on the ice and I go up on the railroad tracks and I get hung up on like the railroad track and go sliding down. And I hear the fucking tire hissing down like crazy. So I slam into reverse, pull off the tracks, go back off the tracks. And I'm in the middle of the road all fucked up. And I see that the tire's going to be totally flat in a second, you know, because it got cut in the side. And then I drive back over the tracks I pull off, I get out of the truck, and the fucking train goes by. And I about shit my pants.
Oh, so
that was like my craziest day of work story.
Man,
the train went right by, right after I went back. I was on the tracks, backed off the tracks, went across the tracks, and then the train goes ripping by. And, oh, yeah, it scared the fuck out of me. I was like...
That's some Mission Impossible
years
stuff.
old or something.
Yeah, that's like a Mission Impossible stunt right there.
Yeah, I ended up, whatever, this was you guy had to hitchhike to a phone, everything. There was no cell phone or nothing in those days, and get a ride home. This was down in Westport. I'll get a ride back home all the way to like Shelton where I lived at the time. But yeah, it sucked, and then I had to get my truck towed and everything.
Well,
it was crazy.
Well, Willie,
yeah, that was my crazy shitty day at work story.
All right, Willie. Well, I appreciate it.
Fast.
I appreciate it. You know, all the stories you've told us over the years. That's crazy, but I feel like I feel like, doesn't anybody else out there feel like Willie has told us crazier stories? That would be crazy for me, playing peekaboo with a train, which is exactly how I'm going to describe this as I'm taking log of everybody's calls here. John from Connecticut, Willie, peekaboo with a train. That's what we got. Okay, let's go back to the voicemails for a second. You know what? This one is from Linda Love. It's very short, so I bet you any money she's just saying hello.
Hi, Frank. It's Linda Love. I just wanted to say this is the best show on the internet, and hello to all the Franklies.
See, people are going to love this. They really are. Here's another short one, so we might as well just get it in, from I Bitch Slap Satan.
Hey, Frank-C. Thank you for keeping me company for 9 years.
Wow. 9 years. And to think that clip that Anthony and I played when we started was 8 years older than that. Or 9 years older than that. Just so much time goes by, I'll tell you. All right, let's see here. Another call. 619, you're on the air. Give us something crazy and put it in a nice nutshell.
Hey, Frank, it's Denise.
Denise, how are you? Go ahead.
Okay, well, this was back in 1984. We lived on 80 acres, and my brother-in-law lived on 40, and we lived on the other 40. And I had just had a baby. She was 6 weeks old, and she was in the house sleeping. And I decided that I was going to go lay out in the sun. And I used to lay topless, but this day I decided I was going to go naked. So I was out there naked, laying by the persimmon trees. And all of a sudden, there is my brother-in-law's bull that is down at the house. And we had some wood that was covered with like a piece of tin. And he's over there and he's scratching on it and just having a good time. And I thought, oh, God. And so I decided to kind of move. And when I did, the bull saw me. And so here I am naked, and I'm having to run between the bull and the house to get in before I was stomped to death while my baby's in the house asleep.
Jeez.
And so anyway, he ran all the way to the greenhouse door, too, like he wanted to come in. But so I called my brother-in-law later that night and told him, you need to cut him. He's a little bit aggressive. So,
that's what it was, huh?
He was very aggressive, yes.
My gosh.
I have other animal stories, but that's the one I'm giving you tonight.
Well, I swear
every barnyard animal used to love to chase me around.
I can imagine. I
wasn't naked, though. That was the only time I was naked, and I decided I would never, ever lay out naked again.
Now, much to the chagrin of all of the animals in the area, I'm sure. Oh, well, anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, I'm so glad I'm on the first night of the Brothers show.
Yes, that's it. The Brothers. The Brothers. Episode 1. And we have this, and I'm putting Denise down. I'm going to say sunbathing with a bull. And there you have it.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
There you go.
Thank you for this, Denise.
Okay, take care.
Take care. These are some good ones so far. Did you hear that? This is disturbing. This was a couple of days ago. You want to talk about crazy shit? You know, there's always crazy stuff going on in New York, especially in the subways that I'll never go into again. But you know how every so often they'll find like corpses in the subways riding the trains. Nobody will know about them for like a couple of days. Well, they found a corpse. There was a corpse on the train a couple of days ago, and it all came together because they thought it was a rape that was going on. There was a guy that was defiling a corpse on the train the other day, and there was a manhunt for him. You want to talk about just hell, like seventh circle of hell. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck. It's just nuts. Got some nut stuff. Want to talk about something happening?
Wow.
Yeah, man. I heard that my skin just crawled. That's just, we are.
What is it, like a homeless guy, or just like a regular?
Must be. I have to imagine the dead guy was homeless. The other guy's probably just homeless too.
They're both guys.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those things. 903, you're on the air. You have a crazy story for us. It's Anthony, it's Frank.
Hey, Frank. This is Haywood Jablomi 2.
Wow. Is this the first time you've ever called in?
Anyway, so this is back in like 97. I was traveling with Carnival. Ray Kendrick shows out of Phoenix, Arizona. And we left. Our first show of the year was in Houston, Texas, with a livestock show. And so we left Phoenix probably about 11, 12 o'clock at night. Less traffic, at nighttime. And we all load up in different trucks and this, that, and the other. And we're in the middle of like Fade, New Mexico area. There's like an area out there there's no radio stations, nothing. And we're sitting there and we're talking on the CBs back and forth. And there's like 3 or 4 trucks. And we decided we're going to pull over on the side of the road and have a piss break. Well, we all get out of the trucks. The guys kind of line up on the side of the truck. The girls all run to the back of the trucks and this, that, and the other. Anyway, we're sitting there and we're all taking a piss. And we're just out looking out in the desert. There's no lights to so the sky is real clear. You see all the stars and everything. All of a sudden, a big bright light comes flashing by. We all saw it. I mean, it's just burning up. I mean, like a meteor or something. We're all like, what the hell was that? And we're getting back in the trucks. We're talking about it. All of a sudden, we get back into radio range, and we're listening to the radio, and guess what?
What?
The damn space shuttle just landed.
Oh, so you had the space shuttle re-enter right above you guys or something?
Yes.
At night?
At night.
Wow.
This is back in 97. It was late January. But yeah, it was cool as hell.
Hey, okay, I'm going to put Haywood. I'm going to say shuttle re-entry story. That is pretty cool. Something that makes everybody stop. And the fact that you guys were all communicating that through radio just makes it even cooler. I love all that stuff. I really do. CBs, they really are miraculous. And, it's a way that, otherwise you would have been really, really isolated inside that car. And then you had a lot of people to share it with. So that's great. And thanks for the call, man. It's good to hear your voice finally after all these years.
All right.
All right. Take it easy. That's Haywood, you blow me too. Shuttle re-entry story. All right, let's take one more before a very brief break. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know that, as you all know, we just got Super Chats back on YouTube, and there's so many things over there I haven't seen in 5 years. Apparently, there's a goals feature, and tonight, just to test it out, I put a goal of, what is it? If we get 15 $10 Super Chats within, it's actually, we probably only have like 15 minutes left at this point. Anthony is prepared to sing. He has his acoustic guitar over there. He will actually sing all of the Super Chats. He will sing them out.
That's right.
That's the goal. So Anthony
I'm just going to do something on the spot. This isn't rehearsed.
Nothing,
obviously.
He can't because you're providing the lyrics. So
that's
it. So if you
don't expect much, you won't be disappointed.
Don't expect much. And also remember, if you do send in those Super Chats, keep lyrics in mind, or keep in mind he's going to sing them. And oh boy, you better.
Oh yeah, listen, it could be whatever you want. I mean, Well, you set the parameters on what they can and can't say.
Don't ruin my brother's life. That's all I'm going to say, and hopefully Anthony has some sort of an internal filter where he says, I'm going to skip over this word and make another one for it. Anyway, but that's what I got over there. All right, let's take one more call. 219, you're on the air. Last one before the brief break. Go ahead. They bounced away. Aaron, go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, Frank. Did I tell you my out-of-body experience? Because that was pretty freaky.
No, but go right ahead. You have about a minute and a half.
Okay, I was living in Rhode Island, working at Hasbro. At night, I listened to the radio, and the guy was telling you how to do astral projection. You cross your hands over your chest, you lay down, and you relax your whole body starting at your toes, and you simply sit up without sitting up. I came out of my belly. I was a round ball about 8 to 12 inches in diameter of nothing but everything. And I kept rising up at that same sitting up speed. And I could see in every single direction in super clear vision like I've never had before. Once I got about 4 feet above my 23 or 24-year-old body, I suddenly realized I could go to the moon, I could go to Jupiter, I could go to the sun. Because when you're out of your body, you have no feelings. You can't get burned. Nothing affects you.
Now,
and then I looked at my body. Yeah.
No, go ahead. I want to ask a confirmation question, but go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. I looked at my body as I realized I could do all these things, and simultaneously I thought, I've already done all those things. That's boring. And so I looked at my body, and I realized that body had memories in it, but it really wasn't part of the real me, the spirit, the soul, the driver of the car that is our body.
Right.
And I also realized I'd lived many, many lives, not even countable. And I was just happy to be out of that body. And then I got a little higher. I could see this stream of knowledge, this gray stream of knowledge. I could pluck mentally anything out of it. I plucked a little white flower, and it came in front of me, and it disintegrated into its basic elements. And I had the re-knowing of, oh yeah, that's why a flower is designed that way. And I started going through the ceiling. I could still see my body below, and it kind of freaked me out. I could see the dark, dingy upper, the insulation, light fixture and everything. And
yeah.
I could still see my body. And I zoomed back into my chest with a thump. And my whole body, Frank, was pins and needles like I've never had before. I had to rub my arms and legs to get the blood going.
Well, Aaron, let me ask you this, because I have to keep it moving. We've done a lot of shows on OBEs, NDEs, and a lot of this kind of lines up with other people's astral travel and soul traveling expeditions there. But when you say that you see a river of knowledge above you and you can pluck anything out of there, including the inner workings of every flower petal on earth, did you ever think to bring something back that could be used as confirmation? Like to say that in that place I knew everything, and then of course when I came thumping back into my body, I forgot it all again. That sounds like something that an experience I had high on marijuana at many times, where I think I'm solving the universe, and then I look back on my notes the next morning and I realize I was just an idiot, and there was nothing really there. But like those nights that we were talking with Albert Taylor, things that you can confirm, I was there, I saw things, I could bilocate or whatever, things you cannot explain. Did you have any aspect of that happen that you can know this wasn't a dream, I actually went there, and here's the proof?
It definitely wasn't a dream, because over the many, many years I tried to imagine it, because I didn't want it to be true. It went against all of my inner beliefs. At the time, I was a evolutionist, like a evolutionary scientist, Scientology or whatever. Not Scientology, but I didn't believe in the spirit. But after that, I had to believe in the spirit and believe that things were designed by someone. I wasn't out of my body to figure anything else out. But then I remembered when I was in second grade, I was looking up at the sky, laying in the grass, and I saw the moon for the first time. I thought, why can't I see the stars if I can see the moon? I thought, well, maybe I'm not looking far enough. I looked farther, and I was up there, Frank.
Well,
and I freaked out because I'm afraid of heights. And I zoomed back in my body.
Did you see any of the towers? Did you see any of the towers and spires on the moon that has been erased by NASA over the years?
No,
I heard there's like
just
eight.
was
I heard
up in
there's
the
8
upper
mile towers over there. Well, anyway, Aaron, thank you. I'm gonna put Truth Quest, Aaron, OBE, and with that, thank you so much. We're going on a really, really quick break. We will be back in a flash.
You suck! I really enjoy a good hooker, but I don't have the money. I'm really high on crack. I enjoy it. Lulls, right? I just did it for the lulls, which is the plural of LOL, laugh out loud. Look, I'm going to give you 100 rats, and you might say, well, that's preposterous, because why not just leave? And the answer is something like, fuck you, just take the rats. I'll tell you about the dark side of rats. If you put 2 juvenile rats together, the bigger, stronger, meaner, dark tetrad rat would just destroy the smaller rat. But rats, they sort of bounce. And so do kids, and so do sheep. And so the little rat, being a bit of a genius, stabs the big rat with a knife in a car. And so after the blood and the gore and the pain and the fear and all of that, it turned out the big rat faked the whole thing. That wasn't big rat, that was another rat. Where's the big rat? We have no way of really knowing.
And you remember this the episode The Sopranos when they used this song?
That was when he was holding the gun.
It was that episode Who Did This? It's when he kills Ralphie over Pie Oh My, and he's at the Bing. Tony's at the Bing. He's, he wakes up in the morning. He's disoriented. He calls for Christopher. He's all alone in the strip club. And he kicks open the door, and the light is just blinding. And that's one of the best endings. That's good. I love this.
I thought that for a second I thought that this was the song that was playing when they went to the safe house, and he was like just laying there with the gun.
I forget what the hell it is.
It's something with a similar vibe.
Yeah, definitely. I maybe I have to go check that out when he's just laying there with the assault rifle. That I remember that when those episodes were live, that one left you like, oh man, this sucks. Really nerve wracking. All right, it's we got a little bit more over here, and I want to give this away. I want to give away these keto brains for the craziest. We got some crazy stories in already. It's Saturday night after all. 20 minutes left. We've got one hell of a crowd over there gathered on Rumble, and yeah, things are really popping off over there. And we have 4 minutes left on YouTube with the goal. And I don't know. You know what? I think it might. I think between that and what's coming in the Rumble rants, let's get to the Rumble rants right now, and we're going to take your calls. 888-554-5069. Give me the craziest story. What do you got for us? Over on Rumble, Rubino says, "Happy 7th birthday to William." Happy 7th birthday, William. Fantastic. Is this the real life? Says, so lovely to see you and Anthony together on Saturday. God bless you both for blessing us. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. It's always good to get together. I'm glad Anthony and I got to do this. And now something new has begun. It's episode 1 of The Brothers. Jay Semo says, my life must be boring. No stories, but here's a request for Anthony. Here's a request for Anthony. Great show, guys. Thanks. What's the request?
Where is it?
I don't know. He says there's a request, but he didn't know. All right, let's take a call from Michael. Michael, you're on the air. You're on the Crazy Story Hotline. Give us the story.
Hi, Frank. It's Jenny. This is a good one, okay? I swear that this is an honest-to-God true story. In 1987, 6 of us, we borrowed an RV. We drove to the Milwaukee County Stadium, home of the Braves and the Brewers. We paid $20 a ticket to see Pink Floyd. and there was a lot of construction, and there was a car accident at the exit we had to take. Traffic slowed to a crawl. So we ended up on the wrong side of the interstate. We didn't have modern navigation, you know, we were lost, right? So we parked the RV. We tried to cut through the Calvary Cemetery. It's 65 acres. It's like a labyrinth of converging footpaths, right? We find this old man up where like 5 or 6 of these footpaths come together, and he's dressed in a Civil War type long coat. And we asked him how to get to the stadium, and he smiled and he motioned with his hand, and he's like, just follow this path, follow this path. Well, we did. We end up against a really tall, like, chain link fence. We can't get through. We can see the stadium. We can't get there. We backtrack. We go down. There's a bunch of houses and college kids drinking out in their balconies, and we ask them how to get there, and they're like, you're never going to make it, man. It'll be over by the time you get to the concert. So we're really defeated, right? We get back to the RV. We get to the nearest gas station because we have to gas up to go home. All right. Who pulls up? This really nice guy. He's the driver of a beautiful white stretch limousine. And when we told him what our conundrum was, he says, well, I'm the limo driver for Pink Floyd. I'll take you. I'll get you, escort you right into the back of the stadium. He did it. So we get in there, but by the time we get in there, they're belting out "Welcome to the Machine." Wow, what an understatement that was. There were so many people on the field, you couldn't even see the grass. But what you could see was, when you saw the grass, was like used syringes and empty bottles, you know. So the only thing that could be done was to hurry up to the nearest vendor, buy a couple T-shirts, hear one more song, and get the hell out of Milwaukee.
Jenny, it's crazy because as you're telling me this, I'm saying, okay, that's a cool setting. That's a cool premise. You're going to a Pink Floyd concert over there. You know, you're late. You're a little bit lost, whatever the hell it is. And I thought for sure that the crux of the story was going to be that a ghost from the Civil War gave you.
Oh, absolutely, Frank. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but he was a ghost because as we were walking away, because he said it twice, he's like, just go down this path, go down this path. We're walking away. I'm the last one there. I turn around. He's gone. And he had nowhere to hide. There wasn't even a tombstone for him to hide behind. He was gone. He was absolutely a ghost. And that thing was, it's the oldest Catholic cemetery in Milwaukee, and it was established in 1857, and I know he was a ghost.
Okay, so were you high?
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Stone cold sober.
Stone cold sober. You saw this. What do you? I know it's a long time ago. Blue or gray?
Brown.
Brown. So not
brown.
Not clearly Union or Confederate.
Nope, not clearly either one or the other, and not a long coat like the Cheyenne guys in Once Upon a Time in the West. It was like down by his knees. And you know what I mean?
Wow. And then you got rescued and personally chauffeured to the concert by the band's limo driver. But he
was the coolest guy in the world. He's like, I'll get you up there. I'll get you up there. And he drove us right to the back door. And we walked in, and they were like 4 songs from the end of the concert.
Wow. Well, Jenny, I mean, that's a good one. I have Pink Floyd, Civil War Ghost, and Limo Rescue. That's a great one. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good night.
Take care. And okay, so here's another. Okay, and I've talked about this on this show before too. I'm gonna have to do it again because this will definitely be another episode of The Brothers. Everybody, and Anthony knows a little bit about this. I told you all that me, Anthony, Mike, a couple of our other friends, we got to hang out in April. It was I think it was April 24th, 2012 is when we had magician and performer RJ Williams on the show, and he ate the light bulb in record speed.
Yeah.
He broke his own record on our show. Well, I also told you guys that it was only about a couple of weeks later that we realized that RJ was also robbing banks in New York City. He's a bank robber, and he got caught, and then he was put in jail. He was in jail for a couple of years. We've been wondering for the last 13 years, where the hell has he been? How has he been? And I've had enough of not knowing, and I finally found him, and I got in touch with him, and he is going to be coming on the show soon. He lives on the West Coast. It'll be a Zoom thing, but this is going to be so open book conversation, which is amazing because we can start with the night that he was eating the light bulbs, breaking his record because
putting a bike spoke through his arm.
He put a bike spoke right through his arm, and who knows what he'll be able to do with us on Zoom. But I just want to talk about the whole story because, and this is the only piece of information I got to give tonight, and there's going to be so much to talk about that night. But when we went back and forth and just getting reacquainted and whatever, he was on with us eating the light bulbs on April 24th, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
He said, when was the night I went on your show again? I went and I grabbed that date. I sent it on over to him. I said, here it is, because I played this clip on my show recently. I think I just played it last year. And then he texted me back. He said, so here's my chronology of events that I think I've pieced together at this point. And what he determined is that the night before he was on our show, on April 23rd, was his first bank job in New York. He said he even called it that. I
just want to know how he did it. I want to know, like,
we're going to know.
Was it aggressive? Was it like some kind of like sneaky, swift, low key thing?
Yeah, we're going to have to do that.
Because you ever see that bank robbery, that not bank robbery, I think it was just like a store robbery that was just pathetic. The guy walked in there,
Yeah.
Nobody even knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Nobody even knew that he was robbing anybody.
It was like a nail salon, right?
Yeah. Then he just like gave up and walked out.
He gave up. People were just ignoring him. It's like until you tell Freddy Krueger they don't exist, that he just shrivels away. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see here. So that's coming up soon, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to do that. Okay, here. Let's see. All right, I've got a voicemail over here from Tony Glynn. Let's listen to what Tony has.
Hey, my name is Tony Glynn, and I'm calling from Gainesville, Florida, the Southern Swamp. And oh, do I have some stories. COVID. Did not wear a mask at all, not once.
Crazy.
And I work for the United States Postal Service. I told our postmaster that they would have to have a peer-reviewed study, and I'm still waiting for that one. Got shamed by family, friends. Couldn't attend my church for 2 years.
Well, Tony, I love it. I like the story, and I'm glad that it's a story of your resilience in the face of such mass psychosis. But this has to be a really crazy story, and this is something that most people live through, to varying degrees. And so that's it. But I'll put it down there. Tony from Gainesville didn't wear his mask during COVID. Tony didn't wear a mask. Watch him win. Tony's going to win the Keto Brainz. I can watch that. Didn't wear a mask during COVID. All right, let's take another call here. 815, you're on the air. Who's this?
Hi, this is Tyler. I got a pretty crazy story here for you, Frank and Anthony.
Go ahead, man.
Craziest night of my life here. It was I guess what it started off with was a guided visualization where I was just being congratulated by friends and families and strangers, and tied in like all my senses and whatnot, just doing a visualization. And it was about 12 days later at 2:30 in the morning, after like a 3-hour phone call, I heard an explosion that made my heart like skip a beat, sent a shockwave in. And I went outside to check it out, and there was a vehicle on fire that had hit my neighbor's 100-year-old sycamore tree. So I called 911, got the emergency vehicles on the way, grabbed 2 fire extinguishers from my kitchen, ran out to the car to try to put the fire out. Noticed that the car was filled with smoke and there was no sign of movement. So I tried to open the doors. They were all locked. So I ripped the handle off the driver's door, and then I heard a person panicking inside, and it was like, whoa. really got my heart racing. So I grabbed the fire extinguisher and just tapped the glass a couple times to let him know. And then I smashed it like 5 times good and got a little hole in that window enough to push my hands through it. He followed my hands back out, got his torso out the body, and I like bear hugged him, yanked him out of the car, drug him 20 feet away, and then the car's engulfed in flames like 20, 25 feet high.
Jeez.
And then at this time, the emergency vehicles showed up. And yeah, it was crazy. I was so adrenalized. And then the next day at work, I'm being congratulated by all my friends, family, and strangers. And I was like, what the heck just happened? You know, I did that meditation, and then that crazy bridge of incidents.
So, but here's the thing. So it's tied. So that was the real thing that tied it all together for you, was the way that family and friends were congratulating you and kind of congregating and giving you adoration and some validation for your acts of heroism there. And that's essentially that's the kind of experience you had in the meditation days prior.
No. So I left way too much room for subjective interpretation. You know, the visualization was like 2 minutes long, less than 2 minutes. So I didn't even know if it would work. I just let it go and didn't think of it anymore. And then after the fact, I put it together and I was like, whoa, like, did I create that experience? Or like, I called it in. I started tripping myself out and thinking that I caused that car accident. And I was like, no, it can't be like that. You know, I was just in the right place at the right time to do something that deserved congratulations from.
No, I would never see, Tyler. See, that's one thing. If you're in a situation to do something really great, that I wouldn't also give yourself credit for the tragedy itself as well. That would make you like Mothman. Correct. That would make you Mothman, and I don't know. You can't be the protagonist and the antagonist at the same time. I guess you can. Who the hell knows? But this is a very interesting one. I'm going to put it down as Tyler, high stakes vehicular rescue and psychic foreshadowing. So keep that's what I'm going to put it down for. I really appreciate this. It's a good one, and thanks for the call.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
All right. Take it easy. All right. So here we go. We have about 5 minutes left in the show. It was only going to be about an hour tonight. And I think we got right into the stream of things over there on Rumble, because we've got one hell of an audience watching us right now. And the calls have been great. And I'm glad that we are in line. For those of you who are watching for the first time, this is a Saturday night special that we're cobbling together. And I'd like to do a little bit more of these. But quite frankly, the channel, it's a nightly show for current events and culture and the mysteries of the universe. That is Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And this, of course, is an offshoot of that. We're just having some good times on the weekend. It's cold. It's windy. It's April. And that's where we are. One last call. 509. Helix Patriot. Go ahead. 509.
Oh, I got to turn you off, Frank. Hold on.
You got it.
Can you hear me, Frank?
I can.
Okay. So this is back in early or mid 1990s. Buddy and I get called for a job to go down to Las Vegas, and none of us were completely broke. So we tell them, hey, we got to get a draw check when we get there. No problem. We'll get a draw check when we get there. So we got there. We're working night shift. We worked the first night, and they're supposed to have our checks ready in the morning. We're completely broke. No money for food, no money for a hotel or anything. Well, we sit out in the parking lot waiting for our draw check, and finally it gets there about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And this place is like about an hour and a half outside of Vegas. So we turn back in, go into Vegas. This is like the mid 90s. We got to find somewhere to cash our checks. So we can find a check cash in place, get our checks cashed. Don't even have time to get a hotel room. We slept in the car, got like 3 hours of sleep, get our checks cashed, go back to the job, and we were about 45 minutes late. And they said, "You're late, you're gone." So we each got like $500, and we're like, we're in Vegas. What are we going to do? So we go blow a couple $100 on slots, or at the table, and whatever. we're dead tired. We need to get back home. And my buddy's a pot smoker, and he's like, "Man, we're out of weed." And I said, "Yeah, but who do we know here, right?" So we're walking down the strip in the middle of Las Vegas, and the couple starts walking towards us. And this older guy, he's got a Metallica T-shirt on, and he's got some younger girl, probably not. We're not sure if she was 18 or not. And my buddy says, "Hey, I bet he's got some weed." And so he goes up to him and he's like, "I got some speed, man." He's like, No. We just want to get stoned." He says, "Okay." So they go into the McDonald's bathroom and make this deal, right? And so he gets this little dime bag. And so we get back on the road, and we're headed back from Las Vegas, Nevada to back to Washington. And we're in the middle of nowhere, and we'd smoked this dime bag, right? And I'm driving and pretty much had smoked myself sober. I look in my rear view mirror, and we're in the middle of nowhere, like 1 o'clock in the morning, and there's reds and blues behind us, right?
Uh-oh.
And so, we're like, "Oh crap," right? And so he's like, "Well, he's like, "Where do I hide it?" I said, "Well, just put it under the seat or whatever," right? And these reds and blues keep getting closer, and it's like these dips, right? But it's this, straight stretch for 10 miles. And all of a sudden, it goes down below the bottom of the hill, and we're like, waiting for it to come back, and it never comes back. And we're like, "What the hell?" We go on for about another 5 minutes or so, and then all of a sudden, this big light from behind us comes all the way along the highway, and it was like this big flash of light goes right over the top of us, illuminated the whole desert, right? And then out off in the sky, and as it passes over us, we feel this complete warm wash of, I don't know if it was emotion or just we felt warm, right?
I knew it.
As this light goes over the top of us and out into the stars.
Dude.
And we looked at each other and we were like, "What the fuck was that?"
And this was just cannabis. This wasn't peyote, right?
No. Yeah, and it was like a dime bag, and we were, we could both,
we can hang.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know what it was, but I was sober for the entire trip after that. It was like, I'm not.
Okay, well then let me ask you.
No.
Let me ask you a couple of quick questions about the actual craft. So reds and blues behind you. Obviously, anybody listening to that part of the story are thinking, okay, well the 5-0 is on the tail, and they I don't know, maybe it's just a.
And I was doing
We
like
got it.
80 at the time. I mean, it's the middle of the night in the desert.
Right.
So
yeah, you think you could take
so
some
I slowed
liberties.
down to the speed limit, thinking, "Oh crap."
Who knows? You could take some liberties in the desert, but for this thing to now come over the head, not only wash the whole car into this. It
was like the whole desert lit up.
The whole desert.
Like we could see.
Yeah.
We could see like a couple miles away, shadows of the hills around us.
Okay, sound. So you've already talked about the brightness, the intensity of the light, where it actually felt warm. I don't know if you mean that in an actual temperature kind of a way, or
I don't know. Like I said, it was the mid-90s. The memory's a little fuzzy now. I don't know whether it was an emotional warm or whether it was a physical warm. But we both said, "What was that warmth? What was that?"
Okay. Now, I understand what you mean there. It could just be you're awash in light, and all of a sudden, it's biochemically it triggers some kind of a reaction there, an emotional reaction.
Almost like a
okay.
knife.
Okay, hold on, because we only got a couple more seconds here. Tell me about sound. Would this thing feel like it had some kind of a combustion engine, or what?
No.
Or it was silent?
There was no sound except for the road noise of the car we were driving in.
Shit. The silence is something else. So it's a completely silent vehicle.
Yeah, I don't know. To this day, I don't know what it is. And I've seen other strange lights in the sky, but that never one that made me feel something before. So it was weird.
I'll tell you, man, the weird Pacific Northwest. That's why I just want to hang. I seriously got to get up there just to be on some of those roads.
Yeah, you got to come up here, Frank. You ever make it up here anywhere? Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Nevada, Montana. You ever make it up here? You let me know, and I'll come buy you a drink.
That's what I want, man. I want to do that. I want to see that more than I want to see big cities. I want to be in places where weird shit has happened, and then of course something weird will happen, and I'll immediately want to get back home. That's what's going to happen to me. So
exactly. Hey, well, great night. I just caught the very end of the show with you and Anthony. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I love the show, Frank. You're doing an awesome job.
Well, thank you, sir. And much more of this. I think that we've We've been sharpening our knives for many years. It's time to continue to grow the brand and pull a lot more new people in. So thanks for being on with us, Helix. And I'm going to put you down as Helix Patriot UFO.
Hey, put me down as Boiler Man.
Boiler Man?
Yeah, I don't know why it came up as Helix. Put me down as Boiler Man.
Boiler Man UFO in the desert. Okay. You know,
All right.
we're going to start voting now. So thanks for the call, brother. Okay. Ant, what do you think about that?
Crazy.
One of those things I would love to see one of those triangle craft things. I don't care what, because it doesn't matter what it is. You know, so many people are, it's not like it was even 20 years ago where it's cozy to talk about extraterrestrial life and all that. Everybody's so splintered on everything now.
Right.
That, you know, whatever, whether it's alien, whether it's intergalactic, interdimensional, or if we're just talking about some kind of a secret high technology program,
whatever it is,
it's indicative of a whole new level of existence that's been kept from us. It's world changing technology one way or another, regardless of the origin, and that's incredible.
Right.
So here's what we're gonna do, Ant. I've got super chats that can be made into lyrics.
Okay.
From between YouTube and Rumble. And I'm trying to figure out how, because YouTube, I can isolate it. I can isolate the YouTube ones very easily.
Okay.
But on Rumble, I can't do that as easily.
Well, what are the words?
Well, let me see here. Let me just read through Rumble a little bit. Grandma Grateful says, 1982, the mortician tried to take my boyfriend. If I knew then what I knew now, I think she just called in with that. I should have let him take him, he said. S. Jones is loving the new show idea, hoping Anthony gets to sing. And let's see, Yaxadu says, dance, please. Well, maybe Anthony will shake his shoulders a little bit while he does this. It's a request for Anthony to sing, so here's another one. Oh, okay. Dance, please. Yaxadu says over and over again. Well, I mean, for Anthony, time is all we need. Just a little bit more time. Sow the seed. Oh, okay.
Are these actual songs? Because I got to be honest, I don't actually know songs.
No, they're not songs.
Oh, okay.
They're not songs. And then 2323 says, awesome show, Frank. All right, let me get this one thing up here.
Time is all we need.
Hold on a second. Wait, we get
Are those lyrics that they made up, or I mean,
I think so. Oh wait, this one. Hold on. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this. You can see that. For Anthony, time is all we need. That's the last one there. Then I'm going to bring.
Okay. Before I look like an idiot, I just want to make sure that's not actual lyrics. Because watch it's something so obvious.
I don't think it is. And then we're going to take a.
Sounds like it's like a Guns N' Roses thing.
Could be.
Time is all we need. Just a little more time. Just a little. I'm sorry. I just gotta see. I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it is either. So once you sing that one, then I'm going to throw this one in front of it. And it starts with Katie Sky up there, who says, it's the Menendez brothers. Okay. Anthony Vincent, 10-second songs. Set the charge.
Time is all we need. Just a little more time. Sow the seed. Oh, time is all we need. Just a little more time. To sow the seed.
Okay, now it's up. Now here's the rest of it. It's going to go all over the place now. Wait, you know what?
Wait, which one? The Menendez brothers?
The Menendez brothers. I got to put this up on the screen so people can see you doing it. Wait. Hold on a second. Let me. Wait.
It's the Menendez brothers. Watch out! It's the Menendez brothers!
I'm trying to get it up there for you. Hold on. I want everybody else to see it as well. I didn't think about this. All right, here's the next one. Frank and Anthony, Brothers in Arms, Blessed Weekend.
Frank and Anthony, Brothers in Arms, Blessed Weekend.
The Brothers, I Hate This Show.
Brothers, I hate this show. Yeah. Brothers in Arms.
Brothers with no arms.
Brothers with no arms.
Okay, let's see here. Here, I'm just going to throw them up right over here. Now you can read them, Ant. See? So this one is Valsky, and I'm just going to let it keep rolling from Valsky on down, and people are just going to have to put it together.
Go ahead and go to
In the style of Alice in Chains, let's get high and go to Albino Town.
Let's get high and go down to Albino Town.
I wish I could do the Cantrell.
So high and go down to Albino Town.
Nah, I like that. Let's go to Albino Town, man. You're nice. Okay, here you go. See, let's see this. Yeah, look at this one. You're not going to believe this. I just saw CNN. There.
You guys. I can't see it.
I can't. I'm trying to move the damn thing out of the way. Jeez. Okay, there you go.
You guys are not gonna believe this. Totally serious right now. I just saw CNN in the chat. They're trying to get a hold of Anthony. Still looking to do that story on the world's gayest man.
David Bowie's Within You from Labyrinth for Sisters.
I don't know it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know.
See, when it comes to songs, it's like, you know, you have to be a certain kind of protege.
Well, no, it's
to just like know songs like off the top of your head.
I just want people to do lyrics. Do Kelly's right there. Sending Frank and Anthony Frankly's love, positive healing, and then we're gonna give out this. And then next time we do this, people are going to start. They got to just give you goofy shit to say.
Wait, what does it say?
It says sending Frank Anthony. It's just like a goodbye from Kelly Parker at the end.
Sending Frank. This is fun. Sending. Sending Frank and family Frankly's only positive healing energy, vibrations and frequencies and prayers, along with truckloads of love, but gentle lugs and monolithic tons of perseverance. Always tons of perseverance. Always monolithic tons of perseverance. Monolithic
there you
tons
go.
of perseverance.
There you go, Kelly.
Always. Whoa. Sending love. Sending love.
And Kelly, thank you for that. There you have it, right there. And next time, ladies and gentlemen, now you know. We're going to really refine this one because I know people are going to lead you down really fantastic paths next time. And next time, what we can do is I'll find a way to get the other room rigged up so we can do
That'd be great.
You know, me on the drums, you over there, and that'll be fun. All right. Anyhow, here's what we got, everybody. This is going to be very crude, but we're going to vote on who's going to get this this package from Keto Brainz. Now, the craziest of all of the stories we had tonight, Carly. We had for number one. Write this down because you're going to spam either 1, 2, whatever the hell it is in the chat room. Shit, this is not going to work. How the hell am I going to be able to read all this and really see? We had Carly, the shotgun, getting chased and shot at with a shotgun while on acid. That's number one. Number two, Johnny Appleseed seeing the television static person in the yard, and then the next day, cardboard Jesus being left there. Tanya with the Undertaker prank, where 2 Undertakers were sent to her house to collect the body of her boyfriend that was not dead. That would be number 3. Number 4, John from Connecticut played peekaboo with a train. Number 5, Denise sunbathing with a bull, got chased by a bull naked. Hey, would you blow me? The shuttle reentry right over his head. Truth Quest, Aaron from Truth Quest, an out-of-body experience where he figured out the entire universe. Jenny Bennett. Holy shit, wait, what was that number? Oh, God, I've screwed this up. I told you this was crude. Carly, 1, Appleseed, Cardboard Jesus, 2, Tanya, Undertaker prank, 3, Willie from Connecticut, 4, that's peekaboo with the train. Denise is 5, sunbathing with a bull. Hey, would you blow me? Shuttle reentry story, number 6. Truth Quest, OBE, number 7. Jenny Bennett, Pink Floyd concert, Civil War ghost, and limo rescue, number 8. Tony didn't wear a mask during COVID. That's number 9. Tyler, a high stakes vehicular rescue and foreshadowing through meditation. That's number 10. And then Boiler Man at the end, number 11, UFO in the desert. Do you remember what I just said right there? I told you it's crude. What do you say? Spam your, I'm going to see what I see the most of. 1 through 11. 1 through 11. Let's see. Go ahead. I see 2s and 5s and 7s already. This is going to be just as a nightmare. See, on YouTube, if I did a live poll, I can only put 4 entries in there. So 11 was not going to be the case. 2s, 9s. Let me look into Rumble. There's a lot on Rumble. A lot going on Rumble right now. Let's see here. 2s, 8s, 9s. There's a lot of 8s. There's a lot of people. Let's see here. Okay. All right. A couple more. All right. And the funny thing is, I forgot all the numbers again. I'm going to have to go back in time. Let me see here. 11. Here we go. Okay, I'll go back in time. There, 10. Got it now. I don't know, you guys. It's really ambiguous at this point. It really is ambiguous. Nothing is really jumping out. Nothing's jumping out. There's a couple of 11s, but there's also a lot of 8s and 9s and 2s. So you know what I have here? I'm going to find a way that we can actually vote on this a little bit more. And I'll do it on Monday. Monday, I will do something there, and I'll have everybody be able to vote on this. At least I have it all numbered. I have names and I have keywords for the stories. We'll do this on Monday. I don't want to shortchange anybody. I think that this should be a vote. So I'll find a place that'll allow me to put in 11 entries, and then we'll just, I'll share it across Rumble and YouTube and Twitter and everywhere, and we'll vote. That's what we'll do. For now, everybody, and Anthony, thank you so much for hanging out tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Going forward, it's going to be a lot of fun doing these from time to time, and I think that between you and I, we can get some really great guests in here.
I got the headphones caught I pulled out like a chunk of my hair.
Alfalfa hair.
Holy
No, it's going now. Pyretta hung really well tonight, too.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody was happy to see Pyretta. That's it, guys. 10:15. That's all for tonight. Oh, Leasebreaker, real quick. I'm sorry. This is on Quite Frankly Superchat.com. Leasebreaker said, most people have an inner monologue, but I'm wondering if musicians like you and I have an inner band that writes songs, beats, and rhythms in their head. I guess that might be directed toward you, Anthony.
Yeah, sometimes. I wish it were that easy. Like just like songs, just. I mean, I guess like there are times where my head, like I have like an inner riff making monologue. Like I'll be thinking of like riffs or drum patterns and like metal stuff. Funny enough, like that's a lot of the time it's just like automatic, like machine gun riffs all the time.
Yeah, well, we've been doing that since.
And that's the thing. It's like I don't even write that kind of stuff a lot. Well, unless I'm doing like metal motivation or cute aggression type stuff. But
Well, it's crazy because we've been doing that since we were in middle school.
I know.
And
That's just
even
like-
for me, where I don't play guitar, but if I would just I would have riffs play in my head, and I automatically I'm thinking about drums and rhythm guitars and just doing stuff. And I would go to you, or I would go to Kyle at a time. I'd go to one person or another, whoever played guitar, say, hey, can you bring this to life for me? Listen, it's kind of like this.
Yeah.
And,
I'll just be sometimes I'll be at like, if I'm out to dinner, sometimes I do like a fast, like thrash metal beat. Like, like the,
yeah.
You hear that on there?
Yeah. It's fur.
Like,
sure, fur. Yeah, let's keep going.
Like, why?
I don't
this
know.
is all stuff. I mean, I wish that actual words and meaningful lyrics came to me more often as my thought process. But you know what though? This is where a lot of people get fucked up, in the writing process, because if you just learn to write down all of your free thoughts as raw clay that it is onto paper.
Dude, listen to this.
You can turn it into lyrics later. And sometimes it doesn't take much at all. Like,
Not
some
only
of the best
this,
lyrics are
look,
just
John Tesh. I've been trying to get John Tesh on the show for a while, and listen to this. I don't know when the hell this was, one of his concerts, and he played an answering machine message that he left himself in the 90s when he wrote the theme song for what would become Entertainment Tonight, but I think it was also used for the NBA at some point. Take a listen to this. I saw this on Instagram. I had to put it together because the day that I get John Tesh on the show, I got to talk about stuff like this. It's really great, and I very, very much to your point. Take a listen. Oh, wait. Of course, Instagram always mutes.
A message for me about
This is at a John Tesh concert, and he's playing it.
the NBA theme. Here's an idea. It goes like this.
He still has the answering machine message. Wait a minute. Wasn't that the Entertainment Tonight theme song as well?
I don't know.
I thought it was. Am I going nuts? Let me check. Entertainment Tonight theme song. He probably wrote that one too. He probably wrote this one too. Give credit to Michael Mark for an Michael Mark for an enduring theme. All right, fine. I got it switched up. I used to love watching Entertainment Tonight. Well, all the adults were watching it. I was just there for the ride. That's all, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we'll see you on Monday night. We'll be live on Monday night at 7:30 because, of course, Aurora's T-ball game starts at 6, and I'll be live from Studio B that night, and we will do some news. We will do some call-ins and all that other stuff to get through, and then on Tuesday it'll be good. Timothy Alberino's coming back on Wednesday night. We'll be getting into a lot of the crazy ancient aliens kind of stuff that have been going on in the last couple of months. And he's been, of course, down in South America and exploring new megalithic sites and all that. So I want to tie a lot of things together with him and more. There's a lot more coming on this week. So subscribe, like, share. Thanks for hanging out for the first episode of The Brothers, and it'll happen again sometime soon. Ant, have a good one. Of course, check out Anthony on 10-Second Songs and all the other Anthony Vincent related channels.
Yes. And we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon.
Till next time.
Later. Oh, wait. We don't have an outro yet. The hell should I play?
I don't know. The Breaking Bad theme.
Breaking Bad. What about, I know what we can do. We can do the celebrity death match.
Oh, yeah.
Death match.
How did it go?
Yeah, here it is.
Well, folks, we're all out of time. This is Johnny Gomez saying good fight, good night.